Being the UK Christmas number one is a yearly prize that's highly sought after, from the Spice Girls' dominance of the 90s to X Factor's reign of terror in the 2000s, and a succession of bakery-themed novelty charity songs from the YouTubers Lad Baby. This year is no different, and there are three songs vying for the top spot. Firstly is a seasonal classic Last Christmas by Wham, which has been number one the last 2 years. Secondly is Australian pop icon Kylie Minogue, with a new single imaginatively titled Xmas, replete with its own YMCA-style dance moves and festive lyrics. Lastly, something rather more meaningful. A charity single has been a mainstay of a Christmas singles chart race, but this one in particular is very special. Lullabi is a reworking of a Palestinian folk song by the Together for Palestine Fund, with added English lyrics by British prog rock legend Peter Gabriel, and featuring famous artists such as Brian Eno, Nene Cherry, Amina, Bastille, Leanne Pinnock from Little Mix, and many others. The arrangement and composition, however, is a joint effort between composer Kieran Blunt and Palestinian singer, songwriter, and flautist Nai Barghouti, and she joined me earlier today to discuss the single.
I'm actually very excited about this single, The Lullaby, with a group of the incredible artists that are part of it and that have come all together and gathered all together to be for Palestine, to sing for Palestine. I think it's been getting such important global attention, which is the goal of this, is to speak about Palestine and show the beauty of Palestine.
So Lullabi is a reworking of a Palestinian folk song. What does the original mean for you personally?
So the lullaby in Arabic is called Yomam Wal Hawa, and it's basically a song for a mother, a song about Palestinian love and what it means to be living under borders, under occupation, not being able to unite with those that you love. And so a part of the song that says, I wish my chest were a bridge so that you and I you can cross over and you and I can live a Palestinian love story together. And that really speaks of the so many love stories that have ended because of illegal occupation, and they just don't get the chance to be together. And this song has been really connected with me from a very young age for some reason. Recorded it at many different projects, and also I try to sing it in whichever stage I go to around the world.
And you're calling in today from Ramallah. Can you tell us what the situation's like on the ground for you there?
It's really like, waiting for a storm or post a storm. It feels sometimes very calm, sometimes very chaotic, but there's such a sense of fear, a sense of loss, a sense of sadness. You really see it on people's faces, in people's eyes. I haven't been here in a year and a half. So just seeing my friends, seeing the faces of people, you can really see a lot of grief, which of course is expected, and it's for everybody inside and outside of Palestine, but especially here, feeling always at risk and always at, on the edge that things would change any minute. So it's just really, very anxious.
A lot of those emotions you definitely will come through in a lot of the reactions, and there are a lot of the discussion around the reasons why we need the single in the first place. I mean, how did you come to be a part of how the song was created in the first place?
Well, it actually started back in September when we were planning for the Together for Palestine big event at the OVO Arena, Wembley in London. And I was going to be part of this event, and I heard that there's this idea about doing this lullaby as a collective project and bringing together many different artists that would, help bring this lullaby to reach as many people as possible. So, of course, for me, it was really, really important to be part of it and to help, shape the overall artistic vision of the song, the rearrangement of it, and how, everything will come together from the different genres that you hear on the track, that it still becomes a one sound, comes in unity at the end result.
The recording would have been done from all different places. Were there any challenges in recording, essentially a song globally in this way?
Well, a lot of it happened in London. Parts of my own vocals were recorded in London. The rest was in Amsterdam. I think there's always a bit of, some tricky situations and challenges that happen when people record in different places, and just to make the sound really match from a very technical point of view. But I think once everybody's hearts is just in the right place and in the right, work ethics and the right goal that we all want, it really becomes like a seamless experience.
I mean, especially given the people that are on board, yourself and the many other kind of stars that were involved in the making of this, I can imagine it being a very, very rewarding process. What's your message to those watching at home? Of course, this is in the running for the Christmas number one, which is a kind of a big, big event in this country. But obviously, the proceeds are going to be going to a really important charity. So everyone who does buy the single at home will be helping to aid in the relief in Gaza. What's your message to people at home watching about the song and about what that's going to mean for the people in Gaza and the people broadly in Palestine?
Well, I think it's like a little beam of light at a time that feels very dark, and at a time where we really need people to speak of Palestine and to work as hard as possible, and especially now. We really need to keep going with that. And I think it also shows a part of Palestine that is not always mentioned in the news. And that's the part that is very beautiful and just full of art, full of beauty. Our art is sophisticated, it's deep, it's very complex as well, and very pure and very honest. And just bringing all these different elements in one song, featuring so many beautiful voices that come together, I think it's just everything we really need to convey, which is the unity and the strength and the resilience and the hope that lies in every Palestinian.
That was Nai Barghouti speaking to me earlier today. Lullabi is at time of recording only 7,000 units behind Kylie, who's in first place. So if you want to see the single as Christmas number one, you have until 11:59 on the 18th to download it for it to count. And the results are due to be announced on the official chart show on BBC Radio 1 at 3 p.m. on Friday the 19th. And remember, the proceeds from Lullabi go to a selection of Palestinian relief charities. And given the situation in Gaza, every penny counts. The download link will be in the description.